So I can't ever keep their names straight. I don't know which goats are which.
The second biggest one with the goatee, that's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I did not name that one.
How come your friends wanted to name him Aaron Rodgers so badly?
Football player, I think he's known as the GOAT.
Ah, yes, the goat. Okay, I can see that. So Cap and they're our most famous residents. There are 5 of them, and we use them as our mascot because people who come to visit and tour, they always are amazed to see that we have goats doing something that's usually you need lawnmowers for. There are natural lawnmowers. They're there to help us keep the weeds from getting out of control in the areas that haven't been developed yet. When I started with ExxonMobil back in 2003, I knew that fossil fuels had to be on their way out. And I expected that over the course of my career, I would be part of transitioning away from fossil fuels. They talked about natural gas as a bridge fuel to a renewable energy future. And I believe that. But over the course of my career, I saw that bridge fuel become a bridge to nowhere. It ended up that natural gas was something the fossil fuel industry wanted to keep doing. I just couldn't be a part of it. I felt I was doing more harm than good. And I didn't want my daughter to grow up without hope that there was a way to live differently and to transition away from fossil fuels. And so we went online, we looked for a sustainable community, and this one seemed to be the most promising. Hey Melissa, thanks for coming to movie night last week.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks. The Geos neighborhood is a decarbonized, fully electric neighborhood that has no fossil fuel. We have no natural gas lines. So you don't have to exhaust any carbon dioxide, any pollution from fossil fuels from these houses because they're built so that they don't need as much energy. The reason why natural gas furnaces are so needed is because American houses are built to be leaky. And because they're so leaky, you have to have these natural gas furnaces in order to meet the energy needs of heating the homes during the coldest days of the winter. But if you have very tightly insulated homes, then you don't need natural gas furnaces. Instead, you can use very efficient heat pumps, which are like refrigerators, except they can also heat the home. The main electricity usage is actually for the heat pumps, while the remainder of the electricity usage is for charging our electric vehicles.
I'm a long-time New York trained investment banker. Moved to Colorado years ago. I raised money for oil and gas, which is a very prominent industry here. About 10 years ago, I began to realize that there was an issue with climate and with global warming, and the development of solar interested me. So I began to get interested in seeing what it would take to raise capital to begin to fund that part of the industry at a more aggressive level.
I find that people here are much more thoughtful about their impact on the environment, whereas in Houston, it seemed like almost everybody's livelihoods was tied in some way to oil prices. I tried to put solar panels on my rooftop, and my homeowners association blocked me. I felt isolated in the sense that my concern for the climate crisis was either dismissed or seen as a threat. I feel that the people here feel like they're at the forefront of major change that they believe in.
About 65–70% of the homes in the U.S. are still heated by fossil fuel. The new ones, amazingly, are continuing to be heated by fossil fuel. But by taking a home and heating it and cooking with gas, what you do is you create about 2,000 pounds of carbon a year into the atmosphere, which we cannot stand. It's now more economic to use natural power that's renewable with this system that these homes use. It's really not that difficult.
Thanks you all for helping me with writing the public comments for the Metro meeting last Tuesday, and how we wanted to talk with Chad about why he didn't respond to us with regards to the natural gas line that he wants to bring over from the Westwood Mesa neighborhood over there down here to the next Across the street from our development, they're planning to install natural gas lines by using a neighboring community that already has natural gas lines and extending their pipelines into the next section of our development. And the new developer who took over initially put out a press release saying that he would build upon our core principles of sustainability and net zero living. But it turned out that those are just words, and this outraged us. Yeah, so Chad responded to the public comment that we made that he didn't want to have a response because he felt that this should just be water under the bridge, that there's no reason for us to argue, and that he just doesn't want to respond because he doesn't want to argue about it anymore. We came together in our Metro District Board meetings in order to make our outrage heard. We started to be active with the City Council and the City Sustainability Committee, and now we're active in getting media involved and getting people to know about what's going on, and getting as much attention as possible to make the builder aware that there are consequences if they put in natural gas lines.
If everyone could live in a net zero home and it would be cost effective to do so, we would obviously all do that. That would be awesome. And I think we'll get there someday. It's just not there yet. And so the obstacles are upfront cost. Because of market demands, we could not do net zero geothermal on a production scale. These homes will still be 50 times more sustainable than something that was built in the 60s and 70s and 80s, right? And so our view is that building great homes is better than building no homes that would be perfect.
I feel very much rewarded in seeing my daughter grow up here and seeing her internalize these values. And she's seeing how important it is to have a voice about these matters. That was a mistake that I made when I was in the university. I thought that if I just focused on technical research that other people could take care of policy, but really scientists and engineers, they need to be part of making their voices heard and influencing policy to be able to be a part of the solution.